108. And with me now is CBS Sports NBA analyst John Gonzalez. And John, it is 101-95 with 30 seconds to go. Everybody can see that the Rockets are going to win this game. So walk me through what happened that allowed the Lakers to steal this one on the road to go up 3-0.
Yeah, what happened was the Rockets gave their season away. It's over. The season is over for the Rockets, and they're going to look back at that last 30 seconds when they were up 6 with the ball and rue the day that they let Jabari Smith just casually toss away a turnover. He does that. Then Jayshawn Tate makes the critical error of fouling Marcus Smart on a 3-ball. If he didn't do that, and if Jabari Smith hadn't done that, they probably won this game. Instead, Marcus Smart makes all 3 free throws. And then you saw the play there where Reed Shepherd has a turnover that leads to the LeBron 3 that ties the game. Then they go to overtime, and then they fall apart in overtime. I mean, when you're up 6 with the ball with 30 seconds left at home, when you're down 2-0, knowing that if you go down 3-0, it's a wrap, that you absolutely need that game in order to keep your season alive. And you make one critical mistake after another critical mistake after a third critical mistake, you know what? You probably don't deserve to be in the playoffs. And they're going to look back at this and think, we had a failure of roster construction. They didn't have any point guards. They didn't have any ball handlers. They didn't have anybody to initiate the offense. All that is true. But those mistakes by Jabari Smith and then Jayshawn Tate and then Reed Shepherd are the reason why the Houston Rockets season is over.
Listen, teams were 1 in 1,084 entering this night when you're trailing by 6 or more points in a playoff game with under 30 seconds to go. It's just unfathomable, John, how the Rockets find ways to lose. Like, even though they came back from down 15, to have that lead is just really soul-crushing. But on the other side, LeBron James, and I get we talk about him so much, but what he's doing is not normal, okay? This time he almost had 10 turnovers, but again, you can probably grade him on a curve because you're not expecting him to be perfect. And then Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart has been one of the key additions for this team, John. How influential was he in this game to get the win?
Oh, Marcus Smart was huge. I mean, as was LeBron. And yes, LeBron had a ton of turnovers tonight, and those almost doomed them. But LeBron James also hit a critical 3 to tie the game in overtime. And by the way, at the end of the overtime, or at the end of regulation, and at the end of regulation, he almost hit the game winner that went down and out. I thought that was a great shot. They got a clean look. It was a turnaround 3, but still, that thing was almost all the way down. But Marcus Smart, yes, he ends up with 21 points and 10 assists tonight, and then 5 steals. And it was like he just made big play after big play, crucial rebounds, hit all his free throws when they needed it, was playing fantastic defense, hit that hit ahead to LeBron for that 3 that ended up tying the game. I mean, just cannot say enough about Marcus Smart, who, you know, we forget that a couple of years ago, he was the defensive player of the year, and then he had some injury issues, and then he had a lost season in Memphis, and I thought his career was basically over. And when Luka goes down and Austin Reeves goes down and LeBron James is looking around thinking, I need somebody to help me out here. Well, Luke Kennard was a great shooter in the first 2 games, not a great shooter tonight, but Marcus Smart really stepped up the last game, and especially in this game late when they needed him, and then especially in overtime. They do not win this game without Marcus Smart stepping forward. And also, as you mentioned, LeBron being LeBron. Yes, he had some turnover mistakes, but still a supreme effort for him to play 45 minutes and hit those shots that were just, I mean, he almost hit the game winner as well. So, yeah, those 2 guys combined, they really buoyed the Lakers tonight for sure.
So the Lakers are now 1 game away from sweeping the Rockets, and I know everybody had that in their mind when this series began. John Gonzalez, always appreciate the insight, man. And how about this? LeBron James now with 146 playoff double-doubles. He's 11 shy of another Laker legend, Magic Johnson, who has 157. It's just unreal. 29 points, 13 rebounds, 6 dimes. Yes, we talked about the turnovers, but at 41 years old to be carrying this team the way he is, it is.
I think there were 3 jump balls in the last minute or so, and then a couple in overtime. So it's like everything that we needed to do, even when it wasn't pretty, we just kind of found a way to do it. And we're playing hard. I mean, that's you have to do that to put yourself in a position to win. There's some things we can execute better, but I thought from the beginning of the game, we played with a sense of desperation, and we played like a team that was, that was down, as did they. They played a great game as well, a hard-fought game, and I thought we matched that.
JJ, you've talked a lot about kind of leadership from all of your players, but I'm wondering what it looks like in the huddle on the sideline when you have players like LeBron and Marcus who are so experienced, and it's a tight game. It seems like everyone on this team is just calm and poised all the time because you guys have players like those guys. So
I mean, you got to have guys that have been in those moments before. I think whatever you want to call it, the instructions, whether it's a need play, whatever, the instructions, we make them clear. Those guys echo it. Everybody kind of knows what we're supposed to be doing, and I think there's a. I mean, we've been in so many of these games, particularly in the last couple months. Not going to win them all, but we've found a way to win a number of these games, and I think our group has the experience in these moments.
JJ, at the pregame news conference, when a reporter asked you about the dunk from last game from LeBron, and you said there's another dunk. Well, when you saw the game like this, especially from LeBron rolling over to grab the rebounds, and I guess the last shot to get you guys to the overtime, do you think it's just another game for LeBron?
No, I always appreciate and don't take for granted what he's able to do. I guess I've known him now 26 years, and I've watched him play for 26 years. We met when we were both about 15 or 16 years old, so always enjoy it. Always enjoy it.
JJ, before the playoffs started, when you had conversations with Marcus about being back in the playoffs, how much could you see he yearned to be back in this? It's been since, 2023 since he's been in the playoffs?
Well, I just could tell from our initial conversation that there was an excitement level when that word was even mentioned. I think we've talked a lot about guys like Luka or Steph or LeBron being on the stage and being a showman. I think there's an element with Smart of that as well, and I think it's the competitive stage that he really craves and really thrives in. Thank you.
Great observations from our guys here on the couch. Yes, JJ and LeBron are the same age.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Phenomenal. Nuts. But Bobby, you did shout out Marcus Smart earlier. How important is it to have a profile like his, intense playoff moments like this, like we've seen, especially down the stretch in this one?
Yeah, man. Just with a guy like Marcus Smart, obviously being in Boston for all those years, being on championship caliber teams, helping impact winning in so many different ways. It could be scoring, it could be rebounding, it could be assists, it can be getting a stop, a timely stop. There's so many ways that he can help impact the game. And then obviously getting traded, he was super sick about that, not being in Boston. And then obviously seeing them win one, I know that sucked too. Going to Memphis, going to Washington, going and do all these different stops that, didn't work out and wasn't good teams. Finally finding his way to LA on a, championship, competing team that's, trying to win the championship. I think it's great to see him thrive, man. I got big mad respect for Marcus Smart, man. Just the highs and lows that come with the game, that come with the season, that come with the years. And then for him to be able to bounce back like he is in his first 3 games, he's been balling.
Yeah, navigating all that is no joke. When we talk about LeBron, DC, 29, 13, and 6 for King James. How impressed have you been with his ability to really reestablish himself as the #1 option for this team?
Yeah, I mean, look, in the beginning of the season, I think there were some fans that were saying, he doesn't need to be the #1 option anymore. Luka needs to be the #1 option. Yeah. They were even saying he may not be the #2 option. Austin Reeves needs to be the #2 option, right? So for him, he probably looked at it as like disrespect. Like, don't forget, you know what I mean? Like how I got here in my career, right? He was the #1 option for all his career. So he is familiar with these situations. He understands how to win games. And he manipulates the defense better than anybody in the game of basketball, right? So when he's the #1 option, he's not just going to give you the scoring.